Cool beans. All right, this is just going to be chock full of examples. So how to recruit like a boss. Really what it comes down to, the biggest factor always comes back to what your page looks like, because we've kind of gone over how that's really the, your business front, your storefront to your business, and really reflects who you are, what you're doing, and gives people the idea of what you do as a coach and what you have to offer them. So really, when you think of adding people to your team, you need to first check your page and seeing if you're fully representing like what we do on your page, because that's what people are going to look to once you invite them to see what it is you're all about. That's really what's going to allow them to build this picture in their mind of what we do, and if it's something that they're interested in joining and seeing themselves doing as well. So always coming back to what you post about and making sure that you're doing it with consistency. So I'm going to kind of break down the different topics and things to cover to give this like overall view of what we do as coaches and how to really make that a comprehensive like view into what we do on your page. So really your page is to help people understand what we do. So things like what we do on a day-to-day basis, and that might not be the most exciting thing in the world, but it really helps people give an idea of like what they'd be doing too if this is something that they joined in on, and to see if it's something that they think they could manage in the way their schedule and life looks right now, but also if it's something that would interest them. As well as you can overcome objections. Like a huge one is people not thinking they have enough time to like take part in this, especially if they're like going to school full-time or working full-time and things like that. So like addressing that on your page and making it apparent that like most people start this while working full-time. Most people, like some people even do this while working multiple jobs or going to school and working full-time and start this on the side, and really showing how that's manageable within like a busy schedule, so people can see that like it's possible for them whether or not they already like work full-time as well. And then certifications as well is a big one that you bring up. A lot of times people just like assume that to do what we do you need to have like personal training background or things like that, and they think that they're not able to do it because they don't have certain certifications, but making it apparent that like that background work is done for us already, and that we're really more of like a support system and a mentorship and a system of like accountability for people to stick to their goals, and being able to really dwindle down like what we do to make it very easy to understand and specific, so people can really see like what is required of you as a coach, and they can really understand if this is something that they would be able to do too. So what you do day to day. So I'm an example person, so I just found as many examples as I could, and I tried to specifically find examples from people that I knew worked full-time jobs before becoming coaches, and so you can really kind of see how they shared this journey before they became a full-time coach, and what that looked like for them, because I think sometimes it can be tough to really understand what to share when like you feel like you're not at certain milestones as other coaches. You're not like working full-time as a coach, and you haven't gone on like these big trips or like met these big milestones, and you're like, well, what do I share day to day that makes this like seem exciting, that like helps people see the vision that I see for it? So I'm going to show you guys some examples from people who are now full-time coaches, but examples from before they were able to take that step in their coaching journey. So just sharing what you do day to day. So if you look at Carly, she says, I got it done, woke up, read my book, crushed my workout, done my pre-workout, and sweat it out alongside all of my girls. My inbox is already almost zeroed out, going to prep for my coach workshop that's happening today, and then hop on a 9 a.m. coffee chat with some amazing leaders. Make it a good day. It's always a choice. So like this isn't the most exciting thing in the world, but it gives people an idea of like what it is and really simplifies it, because really like a lot of what we do is answering messages in our inbox. And like, so it really just simplifies it to a point that makes it seem like it's manageable to other people, that helps them understand that this isn't like a big complicated thing, and that what we do is really kind of simple when you dwindle it down. So it makes it seem more possible for people who are looking at your page and are really unsure of what you do and if it would be manageable for them. And then if you look at Danae's, she says, as a lot of people think, I used to feel like a job was simply something I did to make money. In fact, working made me stressed a lot. But when you find something you absolutely love, doing it is not a job anymore, it's a passion. Sitting on my cozy bed, emailing my clients and my coaches, aka my good vibe tribe, is where my passion lies. Who knew helping people say yes to starting their fitness journey, sharing my personal journey on social media, and being on a team of other like-minded gals could be called a job? I'm not complaining, just still and I get to do this for a living. So this was like, Danae had been actively doing this for maybe like 2 months at this point. So she's really just sharing, like, this probably on a weekend if she's emailing from her bed, but you know, she's helping people understand that she helps people start their health and fitness journeys, that's like her main job, that she shares her story on her social media page, that's like a major big part of her job as well. So it's just sharing like these little bits and pieces of what it is that we do and the basics of like your basic daily requirements of what you need to get done as a coach, so people can kind of understand what that would look like for themselves every day. Okay. And then overcoming objections. So really thinking where your worries and fears were at when you were starting, and things that you commonly hear when you're talking to people. But a lot of the times I really think objections dwindle down to like this fear of failure and people thinking that they shouldn't do this because they're not going to be good at it, or no one's going to want to care about like what they have to say. They're not like inspiring enough, or blah, blah, blah. Like a lot of it dwindles down to this self-doubt. So sometimes just admitting that you also had that self-doubt, or that you also have fears in this, can be so powerful because it's just relatable. And people can see that, like, despite the fear, despite the doubt, you pushed through it, made it work for you, and how you learned to overcome that in this business. So if you look at my post, it says, I feel so freaking full of life, so comfortable with who I am and where I'm going. I look back and I never thought this is a place I could ever get to. I was anxious, insecure, lost. I had this overwhelming need to be accepted and wanted by others because I was failing to find it in myself. I remember toying with the idea of whether I should sign up to be a coach because I was so afraid. What if my family and friends saw what I was doing? What if I wasn't good at it? What if someone judges me or people don't like what I have to say? I lived with these voices of doubt in my head for a long time, until I was reminded by my team over and over to put those blinders on and focus on me and my own journey. I stopped going to the gym and started working out in my room where I had zero fear of restrictions. I started reaching out to people, posting my thoughts, and just saying, fuck it, I'm going to live without inhibitions. I surround myself with a team of women fiercely going after their dreams, so I keep striving, dream bigger, and stop letting my doubts overcome my wants. Your heart, your life, your happiness is your responsibility. This girl that stands here is stronger mentally and physically than she's ever been. So even when you feel stuck, lost, or full of self-doubt, remember there's always, always a way forward. And then if you look at Breeze, she says, sometimes you're just not ready. In 2015, I started one of my favorite adventures, entrepreneurship. As a new coach, I so badly wanted to have the success I've now created. I wanted to lead an incredible community, high team spark your ambition. I wanted to be a role model and mentor. I wanted to make a positive impact. I wanted to build the income I'm making today. And I wanted the freedom, but I just wasn't ready then. I didn't have any experience yet. I was as green as they come. I didn't have a background in business, fitness, or leadership, but I was willing to learn, and I was never going to quit, even though I thought about quitting daily. I read all of the books, attended seminars, and watched training after training. I learned that I'd only become as successful as my level of personal development. Most people quit before they grow and evolve. They quit when they hit a roadblock or look like a fool. That's because they don't yet realize the failures are the biggest learning lessons. They don't see the big picture and all that they're capable of yet. What if you picked one thing today and decided to stick with it over the next 3 years through the ups and downs? I bet it would change your entire life and you'd no longer be a quitter. So just admitting to the fact that she didn't feel like she was worthy of this business, that she didn't have a past experience with this, that she didn't have, a background in any of this, and she had that fear coming into it, but that she learned along the way and that this is what it's all about, and that really empowers people to think that it's possible for them to, and empowers them to want to take that step for themselves. Okay. And then building interest is a big part. So constantly sharing what made you interested in coaching, milestones that you hit along the way, which can be the smallest thing. Like, you know, you don't need to be hitting huge milestones in your business, like going full time or hitting diamond rank or things like that. It can be like, the fact that, like, if you added one coach to your team, you can share that you're growing a team of like-minded people that are like on the same mission as you and believe in this as much as you do. You know, you can, if you add one client, you can talk about how you've added someone to your fitness group, that you have people that you support, and you can celebrate such little things. You can celebrate like receiving gifts in the mail if I send you things, making your way into training groups and things like that, and really receiving like specialized training from people who are in the top teams in the entire network and things like that, and celebrating each tiny little thing in any moment you're recognized, so people see that you're taking steps forward, that you're taking yourself seriously, and also just so they can see the excitement that you have with this, and then the bigger vision of why this matters to you. So we'll get into it. So celebrating the little things. So if you look at this post over here, this, these were things that I received for, I think, Hitting Success Club. And, you know, so that's not a major milestone in my business by any means, but I was sent books in the mail, one by Mandy for Hitting Success Club and one from Beachbody for Hitting Success Club 1 month. Because they used to do monthly Success Club gifts. Now they do, it's a completely different system. I think it's like 1 month, 3 months, 6 months or something like that. And they'll send you an email and you can get these gifts in the mail. You have to like sign up for them. So once you've like hit Success Club, they'll send you an email and then you have to put in your information saying that you want to receive the gift and they'll mail it to you. So celebrating those little things, celebrating the fact that like I got a book in the mail and that someone's recognizing the work that I'm putting in. So I wrote a few weeks ago, I finished my work day at my full-time job, feeling completely defeated. Even after covering the responsibilities of 2 positions for 5 months when we were low staff, I still received average reviews on my yearly review compared to the near perfect scores I had gotten monthly all year, and a 50-cent raise. It felt like no matter how well I performed or bent over backwards to help, I was still a number to them. But when I came home last week, I had received these items in the mail from my coaching company and mentor. Gifts were doing well in my business and the effort I was putting in. These gifts are little tokens that my work is being recognized, and it feels so good to not only help other women get their health and fitness journey started, but to have that appreciation and love. This started as a side gig, but has become one of the most gratifying aspects of my life. Sometimes it's just the little thank yous and appreciations that make all the difference. And then if you look at the second one over here, I said, I spent my morning completely reworking my room and removing all the excess. One thing that has always been important to me is having a space of my own that I feel comfortable in and want to come home to. I love decorating and having a room that reflects who I am and what I love. As a preschool teacher, I never really had the means before and just ogled Pinterest boards. Coaching has not only allowed me to pour into and support others, but has given me the resources and finances to pour into myself as well, in more ways than just my own health. Coming together one throw pillow and little planter at a time is the little things that make me happy most days. So like this is, I'm not making like a full-time income or anything here. I'm literally celebrating the fact that like this is allowing me to like treat myself to silly things that I appreciate, like plants and like throw pillows and decorating my room. So it's not always like these big moments that are really like going to stick in people's minds. I remember I was on this call once with another girl on Mandy's team, Victoria, I think her last name is Shop or something like that. And she had been following Mandy for a really long time. And she shared like this post of Mandy's that she remembered seeing that was like Mandy getting her hair done. And the fact that she didn't have to like rush to get her hair done at the end of the day. And like that little moment and that like little moment of freedom and the fact that she didn't have to rush, she could just like go whenever and not have that stress on her is like what stuck with Victoria and made her, like inspired her to want to take this step for herself. So it's not always like these big grandiose things. Sometimes like the freedom and the little moments and the appreciation in the little moments is what really inspires people to want this for themselves, and I think is almost so much more relatable as well as to where people are right now, because the big things and, you know, people going on like Success Club trips and things like that, while those are like amazing and something to really like dream of, like this is the stuff that's more relatable. This is the stuff that really relates to people where they are right now. And so being able to share these little moments and the little things that fill you with gratitude is so important. And then showing your overall vision for this as well, and allowing people to really see where you want this to go over time, and repeating that over and over and over so they can be part of your journey, so they can see you grow over time and see your vision truly come into fruition. And I think this can kind of be a scarier part sometimes, because in the back of our minds, sometimes we're still like, well, maybe that won't happen for me. But putting it out there is the first step to making it a reality for yourself, and doing so with conviction. And if you work hard for it, these are the things that can come true for you because you're working for it. And as Bree says in your post, you're learning through it and you're becoming better each day and building it to where you want it to be. So if you look at Carly's post, she says, the virtual office came in clutch today, posted up in the bed of the truck and cranked out one-on-one calls with some of my girls lakeside. My whole perspective on life and work started to change when I realized I could do this. I get it's not for everyone, and there's a ton of humans who feed off structure and a 9-to-5 stuff, but I was never that person. I've worked in a corporate office job for a total of 4 months, and that's it. The only other things on my resume include a Starbucks barista, numerous retail jobs, server, and a boat driver, but it's okay. 2 years ago, I became a yoga teacher, and I knew fitness was my jam. When I found out that coaching was a way to do it, that kept me from feeling burnt out and also gave me the freedom to live my life outside of the fitness industry, aka travel and still get paid, not over obsess about how many yoga classes I'm teaching that week, etc. I was all in. I'm thankful every single day that 2 years ago I said yes to this girl I saw on Insta. So sharing that, you know, she didn't want that financial struggle of having to like teach a certain number of yoga classes each month in order to like afford her bills, and sharing that, you know, she didn't want that feeling of being burnt out anymore. And saying she wants freedom to live her life outside of the fitness industry. So really harping on the idea that she wanted more freedom for herself, and that was like her bigger vision, and sharing that over and over. And if you look at mine, it says, this time last year, I was searching and searching through job postings, trying to figure out what I could ever do with an early education degree besides teach. What had once filled my heart with joy in college felt constricting, leaving me with anxiety. I felt guilty and frustrated that I wasted money on a degree that didn't make me happy. And I continued to feel negative about my prospects of ever doing something that would allow me to travel and live more freely as I wanted to. Did I ever think I would become an online health and fitness coach? No, but when I fell into this opportunity, I just knew I had to jump in with both feet because this was my answer. I work hard every day for my freedom, to travel, to make my own schedule, to have complete creative control over my work, and be able to design what my future will truly look like. So today I'm waking up on a Monday to go back into the preschool, but now I know that this isn't my forever, that I'm not stuck, and that everything I want is in arm's reach if I only keep striving for it. Make sure you're living the life you want to be. It's never too late to choose another path. So really just sharing that vision over and over so that people can see it come true for you. So they know like why you're doing this, why it matters, because truly like people need to understand the day-to-day stuff and what goes into being a coach and those kind of logistic things, so they can kind of picture how that would work for them. But what's going to inspire them to take action, to do this for themselves, to see this truly as part of their life, and why it's something worth working towards and investing their time and money into is your bigger vision, is the ability for you to picture that bigger life for themselves. And that's truly what you want to do, is to help people and like see more for themselves too, and really truly picture how this can play into that for them. So then this is just a story that I love. So being a coach is more than just your fitness journey. It's also sharing your coaching journey on your page and really what this business can do for you over time. And I kind of talked about how there's a little bit of fear of like sharing your big vision, your big why behind being a coach, because sometimes you have that doubt creep in of like, well, will I be able to make it possible? And it's almost like if I don't put it out there, then maybe like it'll be okay if it doesn't come true. But taking that first step to really overcome that fear and put it out there is the first step towards you like truly working hard to prove yourself right, and to have everybody be able to see that like you weren't just putting the words out there, but your actions are actually going to meet it. And Danae's story is one that I really love so much because she just shares her journey on her page so beautifully over time. And this first picture over here is one that she shared when she first started coaching earlier this year, before she really did anything at all in her business, before she really had a team at all behind her. And her clear vision, I really believe, is why she was able to build her team so fast and to become successful so fast, because she shared her vision so clearly over and over and over again. And the people who followed her on her page were able to see her truly like evolve over time. So if you look at the first post, it says, they always say you have to know your why before you'll be great at whatever it is you're trying to do. So here's my why. It may be bold, but nothing less than what makes me tick. My why is the world. I have grown up, went to college, and lived within a 60-mile radius my entire life. I'm ready to see the freaking world, people. I started this business with a strong why. I love this picture because it was taken on my very first paid for trip with the earnings from this business. I love being behind the wheel of a car headed to an exciting place, or wheels up in the air getting ready to land in a city I've never been to. Call me a dreamer, but I prefer goal getter. And then like a couple months down the line, she posts again, I always imagined myself living in the same place I grew up, traveling the same roads I've always driven, passing the same buildings I've always admired as a kid. But when I started in this business 8 months ago, I had this burning fire to live in other places, especially California. It's totally different than where I grew up. I definitely can't say I've ever been a beach bum because, well, I've never lived around the beach. Honestly, though, I never thought it was possible because of my job. My job wasn't a work remotely kind of ordeal, but now that I'm 100% committed into making the coach life work and thrive, my vision has gotten so much clearer and totally attainable. Not only because this business allows me to work from anywhere, but because I can see the bigger picture so much better, because I know dreams aren't meant for someone else. They are meant for me. So you can see over time how she shares that, she grew up in a small town and that was something that she really wanted to explore beyond. And then she repeats that vision again, so we're reminded of it. And she talks about how coaching is going to be what helps her get there and what helps her find that freedom for herself and allows her to move beyond that 60-mile radius, move beyond Alabama, and truly like be able to have the means to move somewhere else, but also explore the world a little more and be able to get beyond that whole like small town mentality that she had. And then she shares again, Bloom, I had to stop and take a picture in front of that beautiful mural you see in the background that says Bloom, mainly because that's how I feel at this moment. Moment in time in my life. Like I'm just now really blooming. I've always had an adventurous spirit. I was just never in a position to go see what this crazy, beautiful world had to offer until now. I finally found a way to make a living while being able to travel as much as I want and work my business wherever I please. I'm young, eager, and fully ready to take this business in my life to the next level. So then again, it goes from her sharing like, this is what I want. I want to move out of this town. This is what I want. I'm committed. This is like how I'm going to do it, to then like repeating again, this is what I've always wanted. And like, it's about to like come to fruition. And then you see this picture of her with the U-Haul saying like she's moving to California and like this is something she never thought possible for herself. And you get to watch this story over time, but only because she continues to repeat. And there were more posts on her page. Like there were so many I could have put up here. She just repeated over and over, like, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm doing this. This is my vision of where it's going to take me. This is what I dream of. This is why I work so hard. And you got to watch over time how like she got closer and closer to that end goal, which makes this so amazing. And if you even look at like the likes she gets on this picture, like, and the amount of support she gets on this picture, and the amount of like people reaching out to her, like celebrating her for taking that step. And this is what inspires people to take that next step for themselves, because they're able to watch you grow over time and truly watch you evolve, and they also see how committed you are and how serious you are to your goals, because you're continuing to focus on that vision for yourself, and you're continuing to share each day, and you're not losing sight of that, so people can tell how committed you are to working towards it. So then this is the next step. So a solid page makes for a seamless invite. But this stuff, these help wanted posts, these invites on your page, they're reaching out to people, this doesn't work if you don't have this stuff under wraps, because this is your business front, your storefront. This is the evidence of what you're doing. This is what helps people understand what you're doing. This is what really makes them more interested, more curious about your doing, and helps them understand it more, but not just understand it more, but also really see like the bigger picture of like what impact it could have on their life path as well. So if you don't have the posting down, if you're not consistently sharing your vision of this journey or what you're doing as a coach each day, and sharing why it matters to you, and sharing what we do as coaches, and really helping people to understand that, then you're going to get to this part and you're going to be so frustrated because it's not going to be working out very well. You need to be the proof. You need to share it authentically and constantly, and for it to work once you get to this step. So then once you have like your solid journey on your page, you're sharing it consistently, and it's going to feel like you're repeating yourself all the time, but you're going to be constantly reminding people of why this matters over and over and over until it sinks in. And then you get to this part where you can do a call to action. So I think I put these two slides backwards. So this is what it would look like on your page, and you can do it in so many different ways. These are just a couple examples. You can do it without text on the photo if you don't like the way it looks. Like, that's kind of the beauty of really running your own business. Like, this part is up to you. You can word it however differently. You can make it more of a story, or more of kind of like almost like an ad, I guess. Like, if you look at Taryn, she says, "Aspiring influencers wanted. I'm looking for 10 to 15 hardworking, ambitious women who want to get involved in the online fitness influencer industry." Or if you look at mine, it's kind of more like a story. "You guys have seen me transform my health and fitness, mindset, financial situation, and happiness through what I do. I start with no experience, a lot of doubt, but a need for more for myself. With a desire to do something impactful, yearning for more freedom, I started to share my journey on this page." And then I kind of get into the same thing that she does. So really just using your own wording, putting your own personality into it, and what you think sounds good to you, and what would truly attract you if you were scrolling through, what would stop you and make you want to read more and really gauge your attention, or what really like kind of stopped you and made you look when you looked at my post, what really stuck out to you, and what aspects of what was written there like really caught your eye and stuff, because that's what you should be sharing in your post as well. And then you can share that to your stories and go a step further. So it's like a double invite. So if people didn't see these posts on your page, you can share it to your story and just like reach out to even more people. And I love doing this, like how Gabby does here, truly not just do like posting the picture and being like, if you're interested, drop an emoji on my picture or whatever, but truly letting them see the journey that you took again. And I just think it makes it so much more powerful and really piques that interest a second time. So letting them know what coaching has truly done for your life, just in like a little bit of like a highlight reel kind of thing. So Gabby shares, like, "How has coaching changed my life? I'm in the best shape of my life for being sorry, it's so hard to read this. I'm in the best shape of my life, even being a softball player for 17 years. I've gotten a physical and mental transformation. I get to spend more time with my pup and hubs. In under a year, I built a business to where I earn a full-time income," which you could switch that and be, I'm on my way to building a full-time income or something like that. Just switch the wording around a little bit to fit where you are in the business. "All from my phone and laptop. I get to work with some of the most amazing and inspiring gals on the gram. Want to learn how you can run your own online business too." And then she does a poll. So it's super like low pressure, super easy for people to give their interest. And then those are people that you can reach out to. And also reaching out to everybody who views your story or likes your post, and making sure you reach out to everybody with an invite, so that way you can get to this step. So having something to invite them to. So either utilizing my sneak peeks, or you can, if you search my name on YouTube, all my videos are up there. You can create an email if someone's expressing interest, so that way you can be in this like consistent kind of stream of inviting, and you don't have to wait around for a sneak peek and stuff like that, and you're not on someone else's schedule for like when you're inviting to join to your team or any of that. Like, you can make up an email and put in the links for YouTube for the videos, and just kind of give a short synopsis of like, this is what it means to be like on my team. And then I have like an application at the bottom. So if you guys want to see what that looks like, I can send it to you. So you can kind of get an idea of it. But that's like an easy way to invite people just like consistently, even when there's not like a bigger, event like a sneak peek to invite to as well. And there's also, I think it's a thing for Google Chrome called Facebook Down. So you can literally download Facebook videos onto your computer, upload them to YouTube, and use them. So if you have like, sometimes Angie has things that's like a summary of like coaching videos for us to use that she shares on like the Uproar team page and stuff like that. You can download those and use those and send them out in emails as well. So you can have like kind of more viewpoints in there, or creating your own videos as well, but making sure that you don't go through like all these steps. You want to make sure that you're creating the interest, allowing them to see what this coach life is all about, then inviting them, letting them know that they can join in on this too, and then having something to invite them to explain it all is really like that last piece there. And if you guys are at a point where you want to be creating like your own sneak peeks and things like that, that's another like team training I can kind of go through to help you guys like truly break that down for yourself. But at the moment, if you want to use mine, like that would be my next step for you guys. So that is really all I have for you guys. Just making sure that I wanted the main focus of this truly to be, your page and what it looks like, and truly being able to share that journey, because this is the evidence. This is what really allows people to see like why this is important to you, why you think it works, why you think it's important, why it's something that they should be interested in too. So that way, when you get to the point where you're inviting people to join you and to see if that's right for them, they can go to your page and like see all the reasons why it would work for them already laid out there for them. So that is all I've got. I don't know if there's questions in here. Next boot camp is, I want to say the 7th. Yeah, January 7th. I can post that on the team page as well. And remind you guys. All right, well, that is it, ladies.